Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Laken and I am so excited and honored to be a part of this collab again. I adore Tamara at the Paper and Pen Girl and I'm so thankful that she asks me to participate in this collab every year. And also thank you, Tamara, for allowing me to snag an early date every year. That way I can participate in True Vlogmas starting tomorrow on my channel. There are going to be vlogs on my channel every day from here until Christmas. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, day one of this series was over on her channel, The Paper and Pen Girl. I'll obviously link it down below, but she creates this beautiful collaboration every year with an insanely creative and awesome topic. So every year she picks a topic and she brings together 25 planner focused YouTube channels to share their thoughts and their tip on the topic so that at the end of the month, you have 25 tips all related to whatever the topic is. And there have been some awesome ones. So I'm actually also gonna, if I can dig them up, link the, I know I can dig mine up, but if I can dig up like the playlist link that she creates for all the prior years, there are some awesome prior topics with lots of helpful tips. This year, the topic are tips to help you switch your planner system. Now, when she says planner system, she means the actual planner, like the physical product that you're using, not the planning system, because that's different, right? The process in which you plan your life from start to finish and the way that you think about your time and your goals and your to-do lists, that's very different than the actual tool that you're using. I actually did a video recently called How I Plan My Life, and that's my entire planning system and like how my brain works from start to finish. Now, obviously within that system, there are planners and tools that I use. And Tamara wants us to give tips on how to switch your actual like physical product. I'm assuming if you're here watching this video, you like a physical planner. So I am going to help kick this series off with my tip, which is to know what your non-negotiables are. When it comes to a planner for you, what are the must-haves? What are the things that you will not sacrifice on? And I'm gonna give you some ideas, some things to think about, some suggestions. But I want you to make sure that before you even consider switching, before you watch all the other tip videos, and there are some really good tips coming, what are you not willing to sacrifice on? What are your planner non-negotiables? Because it can be really tempting, especially this time of year where you see all these beautiful new planners and you might be like, oh, I like the way that person's handwriting looks in that planner. Or, oh, I really like that striped rainbow cover. Like I was almost drawn into a new planner because of this beautiful striped cover, like a planner that I did not need. And I know you've been there and it can be really tempting. And sometimes it might even be a better planner for you. Sometimes it might actually work, but you have to know what you're not willing to give up or sacrifice on before you even consider trying it. So let's talk. I'm gonna give you 5 things to think about that may or may not be your non-negotiables. Now, you don't need to pick like all 5 of them. You don't even need to pick one of these. It could be something totally different. These are just to kind of get your gears going and think about what could matter to you in terms of a planner non-negotiable. So number 1 is paper quality. And this one's probably first because it's mine. It's the first one that pops into my head. I have a heavy hand. I like to write with thick pens. I will not ever sacrifice on paper quality. The times that I have tried a thinner paper because I wanted something else about the planner, it didn't work for me. Now, this may not matter to you at all. You may not be fazed by thin paper. You might actually kind of enjoy that grittiness or that shadow on the other side. That is not for me. I don't like to see that I wrote on the other side of the page. I like my paper to be nice and thick. So know if that's important to you or not. The next one is size in terms of the space for you to write and or decorate with stickers. So how big is your handwriting? Do you have big handwriting and you need to make sure that you have a bigger planner to have space for all of that handwriting? Or do you have like tiny handwriting and so size doesn't matter in terms of handwriting? Do you like to make sure that there's lots of room for stickers and so you want to be able to decorate and have all of the washi tape and the kits? Or does that not matter to you and maybe size, either way doesn't matter to you? Or do you like to just make sure that there's a little bit of extra white space, right? Maybe there's a planner that's enticing, but it's just a little bit on the smaller side that once you filled it up with stickers and handwriting, it's gonna be packed to the brim and that would just look like too much clutter for you. So know kind of what is your minimum in terms of size. On the flip side, what about your maximum in terms of size? Do you need your planner to be transportable, transportability, if you will? What I mean by that is your planner leaving its home? Is it gonna sit on your desk all the time and so it doesn't matter? It can be this huge, giant, full year, heavy duty planner because it's not moving. Or is it a planner that you're gonna take to and from the office, and you need to make sure that you're able to take that planner places and not be overwhelmed by its size. Now, maybe you're like, Laken, yeah, I do take it to the office, but I just pick it up off my desk and I throw it in my bag and I throw it in the front seat of my car, and then I don't have too far of a walk from my car to my office. So like, it's not that big of a deal. So maybe it doesn't matter. But maybe you live in New York City and you take the subway to work every day. I've been there. And so you're like, I don't want a super heavy planner that I'm gonna carry to and from my apartment on the subway every single day. You have to know whether your planner is gonna be moving and how that impacts the size that you're going to pick. This also, kind of a subset of this one, is if your planner is living in a certain space, like let's say there's a space on your kitchen counter that you like for your planner to live, but it's only so big, that could also be your maximum size. Like it fits nicely on this spot on my kitchen counter. Okay, next up, or the next thing to think about is color versus no color, or like really a plain, simple planner or like a decorative decor, beautiful planner. Not that a simple one is not beautiful, but you know what I mean here. Do you like a plain, simple, neutral planner that you get to add your own pizzazz to, that you get to decorate with stickers and washi tape without worrying about having to match specific colors? Or do you like having the color and the decorative because you don't use a lot of stickers and washi tape, so you like your planner to already have some of that color and decorative elements that bring your planner to life? Or does it not matter to you? Are you gonna sticker and washi tape over it so it doesn't matter either way, whether it's color or not color, decorative or not decorative? And the last thing to think about, and arguably the most important, depending on who you are, is the layout. Are there specifics? Are there non-negotiables for you related to the layout of your planner? And this is one of those things that can really be tempting. You're like, but that one might work for you, and it might. But you need to make sure that you actually ask yourself and be honest with yourself about what kind of layout works for you right now in your life. Now that absolutely could change. And maybe you're changing planner systems because your season of life and your needs in terms of a planner actually did change. But if it didn't, and you're still considering switching, then make sure that the layout of your planner is something that does work for you. So like, do you know that you could possibly use more granular than a weekly? When I worked my 9-to-5 job, a weekly was sometimes even still too much space, right? I would get up, I would go to work most of the day, I would come home, I'd maybe do like 1 or 2 things. And so with the exception of my like social plans and some little to-dos, a weekly planner layout of like a 7x9 planner was more than enough. And so maybe you're kind of similar. In the same vein, when I worked my 9-to-5 job, I couldn't fathom using a planner that had hours. Like there was no way that I was going to have a planner that had hours where I spent 8, 9, 10 of them at the office, commuting and at work, right? It just didn't make sense for me. Then I kind of switched, and I switched to a phase of life where I needed a daily planner. I liked being able to flip my page and have a fresh start every day. And I found myself doing a lot more things. This is kind of when I like started to work on goals and myself, that having a daily planner gave me more space to map out my day. And I used it. I used that space every single day. And then when I left my 9-to-5, then I needed hours. Then I needed hours on my planner in order to map out my day more effectively. So now I'm in a place where I could not imagine trying a planner that was not daily and hourly. Like that is the planner that I need, and that is what works for me. You might be completely different, or it might not matter to you at all. Maybe you're gonna make it work no matter what, but just know that about yourself. Take a second, check in, and ask yourself, what is it about my planner layout that works for my life and that I don't want to give up? Those are just some ideas. Maybe there's something else on your list that's really specific, but know before you even consider switching planners what it is that is a non-negotiable for you before you take that leap. That is my tip. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you are excited as I am about this series, please give this video a thumbs up, and then make sure tomorrow that you head on over to Plan Sarah Plan. That is whose video is going live tomorrow. I will make sure to link her channel below, and then you can check out videos for the rest of the month. It's gonna be great. Y'all, some of these tips are very, very good. So I'm excited for you to watch them. And if you are new here, welcome. Hi, I'm Laken. I obviously love planners and love to talk about planners, but I also love to talk about goals. And that is my main focus here on my channel, is to help you achieve your unique personal goals. And I upload videos every week focused on helping you do that, and actually every day here during Vlogmas. So if you're new, I would love for you to subscribe and stay and hang out with us. And thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you again, Tamara, for putting together this amazing collab. And I am so excited for the rest of the month, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Why am I so awkward? So I am going to kick this Handwriting, that sounded weird. Think about is really color. Let me start again.